Ahoy mateys, it's A7X Fan Ben, and here's another video where I'm going to talk about the some of the movies that it can inspire Pirates CSG games. It's a little bit off topic for the channel, but I think it's good enough. It's kind of almost a similar version to that naval history books review video that I did, and a lot of those books inspired campaign games I played, especially back in the 2010s, and I think some of these movies really deserve some praise and some mention as not just being inspiration to play the game, but why the game even exists. So obviously the biggest one, the granddaddy of them all, is the Pirates of the Caribbean series, of course. And The Curse of the Black Pearl actually inspired Jordan Wiseman of Wizkids to essentially want to make a miniatures game in the same setting. So I don't think we'd really have Pirates CSG if not for Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's kind of what started this whole thing back in the early 2000s days. And I've been directly inspired by it, of course, many times. I did play a Pirates of the Caribbean tribute game to celebrate the fifth movie back in 2017 when that came out. And so I had the Black Pearl. I had a ton of crew. It was like scenario based. You can see this deck plate Black Pearl with all these amazing movie characters. I was lucky enough to meet Pintel Lee Ehrenberg at Pirate Fest Las Vegas in 2024. And so yeah, pretty cool stuff. And there's a lot of other movies that can inspire Pirate CSG games as well. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this one because probably just about everybody that's played Pirate CSG or that watches this channel has seen most, if not all, of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So that's, of course, my top recommendation. And it basically is, Pirates of the Spanish Main, just in movie form. And the next one, though, Master and Commander. So a lot of people have seen this one. This one is actually from 2003 as well, just like The Curse of the Black Pearl. And this one, it's not focused on piracy at all, but it gives a really fun, in-depth look at kind of typical life aboard an English man of war. So back in the Age of Sail. So the far side of the world. It's kind of the subtitle, Russell Crowe. It's a really good one. I think the first time I watched it, I was a little too young to appreciate the pacing. I wanted just action, but it's pretty great. So war drama film. So it's not as funny or as action packed as Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's really great, and it deserves a lot of praise as a really excellent, like one of the best Age of Sail movies, and one of the more realistic ones as well. So it's based on the Aubrey Maturin novels, so adapted from 3 of those. So pretty great. I'd probably give this one pretty high marks, like maybe like an 8 out of 10 if Pirates of the Caribbean would get like a 9 on average between those movies. But anyway, and then the next one is The Admiral. So now we're going to get into ones that are a little bit lesser known and sometimes maybe a little off the beaten path. So these are all ones I've watched. There are some movies that I still need to watch that might add to this list eventually, but these are all ones I've seen and can definitely recommend. So this is the Michiel de Ruyter film. So a Dutch film from 2015. And of course, if you know naval history, de Ruyter was just absolutely incredible naval commander and earned a reputation, one of the most skilled naval commanders in history. So a well-deserved title there. So this one is pretty good. These are where it gets kind of into a smaller budget, so they're not quite as the effects aren't perfect, and they're not, it's not quite Pirates of the Caribbean quality, but it's still pretty good. So I would definitely recommend this, and this one can definitely inspire some Dutch customs and definitely some big games too, because the Anglo-Dutch Wars had huge battles. It's crazy. Some of the numbers involved, like ships per side, is just absolutely staggering if you read some of the naval history books I recommend about that topic and whatnot. And then next we get into the Yi Sun-sin trilogy. So South Korean period war action film series. So the first one came out a while back, 2014, The Admiral Roaring Currents, which is quite good. And then Hansen Rising Dragon in 2022. And as of this video being recorded, I actually haven't seen the last one yet, but I'm definitely going to check it out once I'm able to. So these ones are quite good. And these ones, I think the Admiral, I don't know if that one has an English dub, but some of these get into non-English language movies where you either have a dub or you'll do, subtitles, English subtitles. Sometimes I like the subtitles better because you kind of, if it's not dubbed over, you can kind of get the emotions of the characters kind of come across more, even if you can't understand the language. So it just depends on your preference, obviously, with that for what you prefer. But these ones I highly recommend as well. These ones are really pretty great. Kind of like a little bit typical for like kind of like action war movie tropes in terms of like the the underdog story or the pacing and whatnot. But they're still really good. So definitely recommended. And then now we're going to get into some ones that are not as based in naval warfare and the Age of Sail and whatnot, or naval warfare in general, I should say. So Red Cliff is a real amazing epic. So I recommend watching the 2-part version. There's a theatrical version that's looks like it's like 148 minutes, but then there's over 4 hours of footage if you check out the extended 2-part international version. So that's the one I bought. I couldn't find it online really. So I actually bought the DVD that looks like this, and so it's 2 parts. They're both a little over 2 hours. So this is a little bit more of a commitment. So this one combined parts 1 and 2. I think it's longer than the Return of the King, but so you can split this. I split this into like 2 weekends, but it's really good. It's a little slower than some of the ones, not just because of the length, but the pacing is a little slow at times, but it's still really good. And it's super epic. It does not disappoint in the epic war film genre. It is pretty top notch. I really enjoyed this one. So this one based way before the Age of Sail, Battle of the Red Cliffs, based on that and the events at the end of the Han Dynasty and immediately prior to the Three Kingdoms period in Imperial China. So really epic stuff and like just massive grand scope of like the topics and the events depicted. So pretty crazy. Broke the Chinese box office record previously held by Titanic. So really good one there. Like I said, the 2-part version will give you a more sweeping epic scale. So, and then some random ones that are a little more popular, going back to like more Hollywood, American box office. Troy, I love. Obviously, this has like almost no naval warfare elements of any kind, but really epic movie and pretty brutal. Sometimes it can be kind of brutal to watch, but really awesome movie. I enjoyed this. I rewatched it in 2023, and it was the first time I'd seen the director's cut. So I don't know if it's not as much better than the original version as the next movie I'll talk about, but it's still quite good. So another long epic historical like period epic war drama movie. So, and then Kingdom of Heaven is amazing. Specifically the director's cut. So this one, I think the first time I saw it, I think I saw the theatrical, and it is a little disappointing, but I saw the director's cut, I think for the first time in 2023, and it is just, it's not Lord of the Rings quality, but it is really good. My expectations were pretty high going into it, and I absolutely loved it. Some people don't like it as much as Troy or some other ones, but I think it's on par, and I really loved it. I think I was having a really good day that day too, but I massively enjoyed it. So this one I would you almost have to watch the director's cut. Pretty much everybody I've seen says you shouldn't even really watch the theatrical version at this point. So yeah, director's cut, many reviewers call the definitive version of the film. So it's longer, so you get more character development, and it's more epic, because the original one with the theatrical a little over 2 hours, and then this one is basically 3 hours. So it's another long epic historical war movie. So that one highly recommended as well. So these ones, even if they don't have as much naval warfare, they can still kind of inspire that kind of epic historical war kind of mood that kind of might make you want to play a campaign game of Pirates CSG, or kind of do some of the alternate rule sets that I've done in the past, where you combine Pirates CSG with like a resource system or risk and land warfare and stuff like that, and it just gets totally crazy. So hopefully this gave you some ideas as to some more movies to watch. Like I said, some of these are not quite as well known. So if you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean and you want more like naval warfare action war movies and stuff like that, definitely check out the Admiral and the Yi Sun-sin trilogy. And they're pretty great. And Red Cliff, if you want to go even farther back in time, Red Cliff is pretty epic too. So I'm going to have affiliate links to some of these in the description below. If you buy from those links, it'll help out the channel. And my site, Pirates with Ben, where I talk about all things Pirates Constructible strategy game. But beyond that, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And question of the day is which of these is your favorite, or what is your favorite like naval warfare or like period war film ever, even if it's one I didn't mention. So I'd love to hear your recommendations. I guess especially if you do know of some good naval war movies that I didn't mention. I'm sure there's definitely some more on my list that I got to watch. So feel free to recommend your favorites in the comments below. Beyond that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Pirates CSG content.